The topics and opinions expressed on the following show are solely those of the hosts and their guests and not those of W4WN Radio, its employees, or affiliates. We make no recommendations or endorsements for radio show programs, services, or products mentioned on air or on our web. No liability, explicit or implied, shall be extended to W4WN Radio, its employees, or affiliates. Any questions or comments should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for choosing W4WN Radio.
Welcome to my radio and TV show, Debi Changes Lives. I'm Debi, your certified holistic health coach. I revitalize people's lives by helping them identify the root causes of their health and mindset issues and create a custom natural holistic strategy to address them in the areas of mind, body, and soul. As a health coach, I'm not allowed to say that I heal, treat, cure, prevent, or diagnose any diseases. I simply help you reduce symptoms. You'll feel better and feel more productive and enjoy your life so much more. Not many people have released 70 pounds, had a health and mindset transformation, and kept fit and trim for over a decade. I have, and I have staying power, and it's been over 12 years. I even became a half marathon runner at the age of 51 when I never ran from childhood to adulthood due to foot pain, and I have done 9 half marathons so far. Mindset is the key to lasting change. As a certified holistic health coach, I do revitalize people's lives in many different areas of health and mindset. I guide them to clean, toxic-free foods and high-quality essential nutrients. My coaching's for optimizing your health, whatever is needed, releasing weight efficiently when needed, and enhancing your mindset. With my clients, I help them recognize that their thoughts, feelings, and emotions drive their actions and results, sometimes good, sometimes bad. That's why it's crucial to have a positive mindset in life. And also it's imperative to manage and release those low vibrational emotions such as fear, frustration, and doubt, because all that's going to do is slow you down and get you stuck physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Like a hot air balloon with ballasts, I help my clients release those emotional ballasts and baggage so they can uplift to a better, happier, healthier life. With custom natural solutions that will better their health that are unique to them. And a friend introduced me to Dr. Shelly Jo for her brain amino supplements. And these supplements helped my son as well as me through my son's health crisis. Today, I am honored to have Dr. Shelly Jo Wahlstrom, a certified hypnotherapist, a clinical hypnotherapist, and owner of 2 companies, Hypno Aminos and a certified hypno therapy school. She is known as the amino acid lady. She helps children and adults to find natural relief to reduce addictions, thrive through hypnotherapy with targeted nutrition and whole person wellness, similar to me, but different because she has these great products and her services being a hypnotherapist. In addition to running her companies, she holds a doctorate in philosophy, specializing in holistic life coaching. And as a certified clinical hypnotherapist, she also is a certified addiction recovery coach and a mental health nutrition coach, as well as an international speaker. Plus, she is, you can go to the next slide, a 2-time best-selling author, Feed Your Brain, Change Your Life, and by taking control of your brain, body, and emotions, from crazy to calm, natural ways to boost your mental wellness. We'll be discussing today how Hypno Aminos feed the brain and change your life. So let's welcome Dr. Shelly Jo Wahlstrom, who is a certified hypnotherapist, owner of Amino brain supplements, as well as the certified hypnotherapist school to my show, and so much more.
Hi, Debbie. How are you? I'm so glad to be here today.
Mouthful.
It was a mouthful.
Yeah, it is. Everybody's a mouthful, but it's important stuff.
That is important stuff. Yes, I didn't listen to like that is some hypnotherapy. It's definitely not what most people come up against. So thank you for inviting me. I appreciate being here.
And welcome for being on my show. It's really great to have you here after you helped my son and myself through that health crisis.
Yes.
Now, you are that certified clinical hypnotherapist. How did you get into brain supplements and starting your own certified hypnotherapy school?
Well, I didn't. This was not where I ever could have imagined myself coming or being. I'm a mother. I'm a mother of 3 daughters. My youngest daughter, at the age of 6, was diagnosed with anxiety, and we did all that moms did. Got her on some medications, took her to some doctors, thinking, yes, we've done everything we can. Until she came to me with these 6 words. I just want to feel normal at age 15. And my heart hurt because I thought, well, wait a minute. I've done all the things that I knew I could do. So I felt like I was helpless, that there were no other answers. And unfortunately, my beautiful daughter turned to alcohol and marijuana just to feel normal. It wasn't a world I understand. It didn't make sense to me. I thought, why would you want to do this? Why would you want to throw away your life? And I struggled, not understanding what was going on in her brain. Unfortunately, it escalated into meth. We put her into a rehab center thinking, yay, we're going to get her in there. And they said 30 days later, she's going to come out and she's going to be clean from alcohol, marijuana. Spent $24,000 on this program, but it was worth it because I thought, if we can give her this head start, whatever we have to do, then that would be awesome. And she did. 30 days later, she came out addicted. She came out clean from alcohol, marijuana, but she came out addicted to sugar, caffeine, and tobacco. So she went from this to this. I'm like, well, at least these are legal. So yay, right? I can live with this. I may not like it, but at least I can live with it. And 30 days later, she was introduced to meth from her roommate in the rehab center. And it rocked my world. Meth is the drug of the devil, and it changes every single thing about a person. I became afraid of my daughter. I lived in complete fear that I would lose my daughter. So each time she left my house, I didn't know whether she was going to return. And it was super scary. And what I learned about people who struggle with any kind of addiction is nobody grew up saying, this is what I want to be. They're usually self-medicating from emotions or mental issues or past trauma. And they're just white knuckling. If they don't use, then it doesn't that they feel good. They're just holding on, right?
Yeah, because they still have the anxiety and everything, right?
Yeah, they still have those same things. And so I would watch her and I would think, come on, what is it I don't understand? And, my biggest fear was she was going to hurt or kill somebody. She was going to end up in jail, or she was going to hurt me. And those were realistic things that could happen. First time she went to jail, I was actually relieved because I'm like, for the first time, I know where my daughter's at.
Yeah, I get it.
Right. And I could sleep. And she came out and she's like, Mom, I'm going to stay clean. And I believed her, and I believe that she believed it. But like I said, she was just white knuckling it. So I'd watch this cycle. She'd get about 6 months. She'd relapse and end up in jail. After her 4th time of going to jail, 7 rehabs, I did the only thing I could do, and that was pray. And I said, God, please help me to understand. I don't understand addiction. I don't understand why she can't just stay off of them. because she had the desire, but we just said, just because she wasn't using them didn't mean that those feelings went away.
Right.
Holding on, right? And that's when I thought, I need answers. And I was watching a show about how they were using amino acids, specific ones, in a rehab center for the brain. And what they found is that they were doing it through an IV. And what they found is that after 3 days, the cravings started to go away. After 10 days, they were completely gone. They had an 85% rate of recovery. And if you know anything about addiction, that is phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
I thought, that's my answer. Is $1,000 a day. So I'm like, can I have a different answer, please?
Yeah, that's a lot of money. No kidding.
Yeah. So I did the next best thing. Dear Dr. Google, find me a rehab center that uses supplements. And maybe it might take a little longer, but it might make a difference. And I learned about the brain. I found a rehab center that was using supplements that led me to somebody who was teaching about amino acid therapy. And when I went and I took the class, and you know, the interesting thing is, we talk about answers to prayers, is I called the owner of a rehab center in Florida. I said, can you tell me about amino acid therapy? He's like, yes, but in 2 weeks I have training in Salt Lake City, which is 30 miles from my house.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah.
That's the answer, right? Because that's when I learned about how amino acids, and I actually got angry because I'm like, why didn't I know about these when my daughter was 6? Had I understood the brain when she was 6 and could have fed her brain what the brain was needing, she may not have turned to drugs and alcohol at 15.
Can't
right?
help that.
Yeah. And that was what led me to drive to get this information out to the mom who has a child at age who is struggling, the teenagers who are struggling with, they're addicted to their phone and they can't, they're afraid of the future, or adults who are just white knuckling it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I started sharing everything I knew about. It's like a 3-legged stool: brain, body, and emotion.
Mm-hmm.
Feed the brain specific amino acids that hit those neurotransmitters, the serotonin, the GABA, endorphins. Feed the body with nutrition, because there's a connection between the brain and body, that what you eat matters. And then free the emotions through hypnotherapy. That's getting to the root of the problem. And when you get to the root of the problem goes away, which then creates optimal health.
Yes, because the brain and the heart and the gut are connected along the vagus nerve. So if you can calm down your, sympathetic nervous system to be in the parasympathetic state, rest and digest mode, you're going to be able to have more optimal health. So, and I completely get that, because I help people with that too, but just in a different way. And, I help people with, supplements and good, clean nutrition and things like that. But I had to reach out to you for some help, because my son had a health issue that was putting him into a traumatic state. And that's where these serotonin and GABA were, supplements you had were really ideal for him. And you suggested it because I sounded so monotone that you can use it too. So, it wasn't a fun time for either one of us, but, he has gotten a lot better. And he still has a little bit of a journey ahead of him, but, it's like night and day from when it was in December until now. So I really appreciate this friend that introduced me to you. So, and I really appreciate her too for what she's done for me as well. But, you got to do what you need to do for your children, and you got to do what you need to do for yourself.
Absolutely.
And everyone has a choice, and sometimes they choose not wisely, and because they're in a wrong mindset, brain set, whatever you want to call it. And
Right.
that's why the hypnotherapy that you do is an actual wonderful tool to help them to, solidify all that. So I really appreciate knowing you, and maybe one of these days I'll go through your school.
That is wonderful. Absolutely.
I need to get the time. I just haven't had the time lately. I'm catching up from everything that happened in December. Now, can you explain how the brain reacts with these addictions and cravings? I know with cravings, I kind of understand because I have some solutions for that, but you probably have a different perspective on it. So can you share, please?
Would love to. So in the brain, you have these really cool chemicals. Dopamine, serotonin, GABA, endorphins. They are your happy, calm, feel-good chemicals. And when they are firing, they're amazing. But when they're not firing, due to, could be you're born with less of them. It could be toxins or lifestyles or diets. 60% of people over the age of 40, and don't get me started on menopause, right? All those things affect these really cool chemicals.
Yes, they do.
And when they become depleted, then it can create feelings of anxiety, depression, worry, stress, lack of energy, lack of sleep, weight gain.
Yes.
Just to name a few. And when the brain is depleted, then it says, I need something. And I'm going to take you hostage until you give me what I want.
Exactly.
And you may not know it until all of a sudden you try something. Sugar, right? Sugar feeds all the neurotransmitters.
Right.
Caffeine, chocolate, food can be a comforter, right?
Yeah, that's why they gain the weight when they have the sugar. I mean, it's just, and it creates so much inflammation in their body.
Right.
It's creating the fat cells that creates more inflammation. So
Right.
that's what's going on.
Right.
I was a victim of that.
Absolutely. And so it could be those chemicals. It can be drugs. It can be alcohol. That the brain, my daughter, she had used the marijuana and she'd used alcohol. But then when she used the meth, her brain latched on and said, this is what I'm missing, which is a dopamine, right? That correlates with low dopamine.
Yes.
And then the brain is like, I want what I want and I want it now, right? And it literally takes you hostage. It could be behaviors, too much shopping, gaming, gambling, social media, pornography. All of those behaviors are.
All those behaviors will add up into driving emotions. It's what she's getting at. And I hope she comes back. She's kind of frozen now. But emotions will drive stress as well as make you unhealthy. And I call it another level of inflammation. And what's important to do is just pay attention to your emotions. I hope she's coming back. And I'm going to take my phone off of airplane mode in case she's trying to text me. But when you have so much stress going on with your life, it's going to trigger, the cortisol and to be higher, which is going to trigger you to eat more. And that's going to also trigger you to have high blood sugar, especially if you're consuming a lot of sugar. And a lot of people don't realize that they're consuming sugar so that because it's rewarding the brain center. And that's causing a lot of problems. So that high blood sugar is going to cause problems and you're going to get, it's going to slow down your body system as well as affect your thyroid, your hormones. You're going to gain weight and it's going to slow down your metabolism. And I don't know what's happening with her, but I hope she's going to log in. I'm going to ask her to please log in. Hopefully she'll come back. And my whole point is that we need to break that reward center of that brain so that we don't eat too much sugar or too much processed foods or too much unhealthy stuff that's going to clog down, slow down our body system. It's going to make you depressed. I've actually was very proactive, and I actually got off my depression medication with the doctor's approval. And it's made a really big difference in my life. I'm more of a positive person. I'm more of a proactive person. I'm more of a person that actually does things and chooses the right things to do. And that's why I'm so passionate about revitalizing other people's lives who are on that bouncing, weight release cycle. They release the weight, they gain the weight back, they release the weight, they gain the weight back, because there's some things you are craving, like she was telling you. You're low on dopamine, you're low on serotonin, you're low on GABA, and these neurotransmitters will help your brain to be healthier. She can explain it so much better than I, so hopefully she'll log in soon. But my whole point is that we need to eat a clean, toxic-free diet. We need to get off of gluten, because gluten, wheat, barley, oats, and rye are full of modified GMO chemicals that are hard for our bodies to digest. And that's why it's important to be on a clean, toxic-free diet. That's going to help you with your brain, because your brain and your body interact very well. And you're kind of like, there you go. Shelly Jo. So anyways, I was just explaining about how the brain and the body, and how you were just saying about cravings and weight gain and hormone issues. I explained that as well. And blood sugar problems, and it's spiking. So those are the things that I kind of covered, and how you should have a clean diet. So continue with.
Yeah, thank you. I don't know what happened. I thought, well, I'll jump on my phone because so here I am. Yeah, so those are the things that happen when your brain becomes depleted. It's going to turn to something to feel better.
Mm-hmm.
When you can feed the brain what the brain is actually missing, which are specific amino acids that go in and feed those neurotransmitters. The one that you liked, one, Debbie, was GABA, right? GABA
Yes.
feeds GABA. So GABA is a neurotransmitter that is in charge of your calming down, right? So when have been in a fight or flight for a long time, or your vagus nerve isn't working because it's been shut down. It doesn't stop because it's parasympathetic, but it's not working to its best ability.
It's like communication is not going well. Is what's going on in the vagus nerve. So if the communication is down, that's what's going on. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not working. And so we turn to something, so then if you can feed GABA what it needs, this is GABA. So, and I have a powder that tastes like a lemon lime pixie stick, and you just stick it in your mouth when you're physically feeling like uptight, overstressed, like that knot in your stomach, like, right?
Mm-hmm.
You take the GABA powder, you let it sit there for 45 seconds to a minute. It tastes yummy. I call it magic pixie dust. And within 2 to 3 minutes, you could feel yourself calming down. And that's because it's feeding the brain what the brain needs. So when you feed it what it actually needs, then what it does is it can calm down some of those symptoms, those feelings, and the need for the addictive substances or behavior also reduced to the point where you then have a choice if you need it or don't need it, because it's not the brain then that is saying, I have to have it.
Mm-hmm.
It can create energy, it can create drive, it can create focus, which would be, tyrosine, or you've got, positive mind, positive sleep. Those are just the sub-names of the amino acids that I have. And that's what they do. They're called that because that's how they work. Craving be gone. DLPA happy. Each of them are hitting those specific neurotransmitters, getting them to fire. And the great thing is they're not meant to be on forever. I mean, they're just amino acids. The idea is we're going to support the body with protein.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to come in like a fire hydrant with the amino acids and get the brain to fire, right? Mm-hmm. Now, yes. People say, why can't you just eat more protein? Well, because when you eat protein, it has to digest or eat it or drink it. So it's going to go into the brain, the body, the muscles, all the different spots. But we don't live on a supplement diet. So we're going to support it with protein. Mm-hmm. Then we feed the amino acids. And once your brain becomes balanced, the need for them come down. So you can start to come off of the amino acids. And it is the protein that then can start to sustain you.
Cool.
So that's where they come in together. So the two of them together. And then we do hypnotherapy. And hypnotherapy is getting to the root of the problem. When I first became a hypnotherapist, I had people that would look at me like, oh my gosh, she's of the devil, right? I mean, hypnosis, you're going to read my mind, you're going to control my mind. Okay. Yeah, if I could read somebody's mind, I'd read my husband's, but after 41 years, I doubt it.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? And if I could control somebody's mind, I would have controlled my daughters when they were teenagers. And if you have teenagers, you understand what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. There's no mind control. It is just, you're actually more focused in hypnosis than you are any other time. And you go in and out of hypnosis throughout the day. It's that feeling when you're driving and you're like, I don't know how I got here because I wasn't really paying attention. That's a hypnotic state. Or you're on your phone and you're so ingrained on what your phone is going on and somebody's calling your name and they're like, Debbie, Debbie, Debbie. And you're like, what? And you're like, I've been trying to get your attention and you don't even hear them. Right? You're so focused on this that you're not paying attention. That's what it is. So it's not mind control. It's not mind reading. It's getting down into that space where the conscious and subconscious can talk to each other.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the conscious is, I got to get up, I got to get dressed, it's your goals. And the subconscious holds everything, all your memories, your emotions, your experiences, which is different for everybody, but that's held in the subconscious.
Mm-hmm.
And then your subconscious is running this program in the background.
Mm-hmm.
And you may not know what the program is, you may not know the stories, but you know that when you say, something comes up, I'm not good enough, I'm not smart enough. And then we look for reasons to justify that. And when you can get in hypnosis, you can understand why it's there. And then it's the aha, right? Because sometimes things happen as a child that we're not able to process. And some things are terrible. Some things are very traumatic. Other things might just be a misunderstanding of something that is causing the problem. I had a client who the other day was saying, well, I feel inadequate. She's 40 years old, right?
Mm-hmm.
Took me back to when she was in sixth grade. And I said, okay, what happened in sixth grade? Well, I couldn't answer the questions and I was being teased. I said, so you were okay in fifth grade, fourth, third, you were answer questions and did you get all the answers right? Well, no. What happened in sixth grade that changed the way you perceive this? Well, the boys were teasing me. And I said, whoa, wait a minute. What happens to boys about sixth grade?
Puberty.
Puberty, right? And then all of a sudden they're like, oh, I like this girl, but I don't know how to talk to her. So I'm going to tease her instead.
Yes. It's awkward.
Right?
Yeah.
And I said, could it be that they were actually, because they liked you, they were teasing you, and you took it as, I'm inadequate, I'm not smart enough because they're teasing me.
Mm-hmm.
And that aha was like, oh my gosh, I've lived with this lie since I was sixth grade, and I look for a reason to justify, right? I'm inadequate at my job. I'm inadequate at being married. I'm inadequate at being a mother. Or really, you're doing the best you can and you are actually really smart and you just bought into a lie because of these silly boys who were sixth graders.
Exactly. Now, we actually have a question from the audience today.
Okay.
His name is Benny.
Benny.
Does the process change memories?
Does it change memories?
Yes.
No, actually, it's not the memory that's the problem. It's the emotion that's attached to it that's the problem, right? Because if I asked you, Benny, and I said, can you change the past? The answer is no, right? You've already lived through 100% and you've survived 100% of things up till the day that you've been through, right? So the memories is what make you who you are. So we're not going to change the memories, but it's the emotional baggage that comes with it when that memory comes up.
Yes.
So when you can desensitize that memory from the emotion, it becomes just another memory. Then you can look back through your life and you go, yeah, this happened, this was terrible, this was horrible, got me to where I am today. I can learn from it, I can grow from what I've gone through, I can teach from it. It's just no longer, I'm not holding on to the emotional because I've been able to process those emotions.
Yeah, that subconscious mind just keeps on throwing that wave of information. And yes, you need to look at your emotions and release them. Now, Chase has a question for you. Does a person have to be willing to go under, or can it happen without permission? That's a good question.
It cannot happen without permission. I can hypnotize everybody, or I can hypnotize nobody. Meaning, it's not there. It's no magic. It's not like I'm like, woo, woo, you're into hypnosis, right? It's you allowing yourself to go into that state to find the answers. And the great thing is if in hypnosis, if somebody tells you to do something that you're not comfortable with, you'll click out of hypnosis because you're not going to buy into it and you won't follow them.
That's good. That's good to know.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's not something you want to happen. Because
Yeah,
that become part of your subconscious as well.
yeah. You want it and you want to allow it.
Yeah, exactly. Now, Sally is asking, how long does it take to get down to things?
To get down to things?
Yeah, that's what you said.
I like the way you said that. It depends on what you're working with. The greatest thing is in the first session, you're going to see a difference. It may take a few more to solidify those changes, or it looks like an onion, right? So if you have an onion and you peel it layer by layer, you might start here, but then there might be something here, right? And then it might be something here. So we're getting down to clear those emotions. Or you might be somebody you're like, I've done this, I know it, I'm ready, and you go for the root.
Oh.
Yeah. But I like to say about 3 to 4 sessions are where most clients can get the most work done.
Mm-hmm. No, that's good. Whoa, got a lot of questions today. Don't. I hope that's his name. Does it take time to understand the actual cause of things?
It's not as much the cause as the emotion that's wrapped around it.
You have to tie together.
Yep, the tie. Yeah, because it's your process of what you thought that experience meant is what we want to work on, is getting to understand that.
Yes.
And it's interesting because when children go through something, it's like this break. They're going and something happens and then keeps going. And so they have these breaks in the energy because they're not able to process it. They don't have the words to process through it, right?
Very, very true, yes.
So in hypnosis, we're going to come back and we're going to clear them. Now, the interesting thing is there's usually an original event that caused it, just like I said with my friend. Mm-hmm. But then you can look at your life and go, wow, this has happened many times in my life. And what that happens is it may look a little different. It may have different people, but as you start to analyze it, you're like, oh my gosh, it's the same situation.
Yeah, that's why that's to people too. Yeah, when we talk about things like that. Yes.
Right. And so when we can clear the original, we can clear all those things, because now it's not that child that's running the show. It's older you who knows how to handle it. We can handle all the things that we're going through, right?
Yes.
That child could not. So if you were given that child saying, okay, I'm going to stick you in the driver's seat of what I'm doing in my life right now, they'd be like, ah, I can't do this, right? And they're going to and you're going to respond the same way you did as that little child, because you haven't learned, even as an adult, how to get through the situation that puts you back in that same feeling that you felt with that original event. Mm-hmm. So when you can get through that, then it clears it, and then you become what's called single-minded. So no longer are you live and die. It's like, I want this, but wait a minute, I don't want. The subconscious is saying this. Mm-hmm. You come together.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. We have one last question, if you can answer it very quick. Larry says, and I don't think it is this only for kids?
No, but kids are fun. Yeah, kids are a lot of fun in hypnosis. No, this is for adults. It's people who have struggled, and they from any age up to, like, I've worked with a 90-year-old that had these limiting beliefs that they believed when they were so much younger. Mm-hmm. So it's and it's like, why am I sabotaging my life? What is stopping me? Or those limiting beliefs, I'm not good enough, I'm not smart enough, whatever that looks like. Maybe I'm going to say more likely isn't even true.
Yes, and that's how I work with my clients too, with mindset coaching, but I don't do the trances or anything like that. It's just conversation and asking questions.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it. Now, I would like you, because we may have more time at the end, I would like you to cover what you're offering to my audience today.
Well, I have a quiz, and the quiz is, could amino acids be your missing link? And what that does is it lets you answer very quickly. It's like 45 seconds. I don't know. You got like 8 questions, and you're just going to answer. Do I feel this? Do I feel this? Do I use this? It's going to give you a little bit of an understanding of which of the amino acids may be that could help you to rebuild that 3-legged stool. So if you click on that link right there, it'll take you into my app, and you can see, it'll say take a quiz, and then it'll give you an explanation of which amino acids, what that looks like, and that's a great way to start.
Yeah, and there's many amino acids out there, but she's talking about things for the brain, actually. So, and her link to this for the radio audience is at https://tr.ee/health quiz. And for the video audience, you can use that QR code and make life a little bit easier. So, that's a wonderful offer. I offer health evaluations and quizzes as well, but this is really a special one because it's going to pinpoint those brain hippo supplements that she's talking about. So thank you for being on my show today. I'm Shelly Jo, and would you like to be a guest again?
I would love to do this again. Yes.
We can banter about this for another show. So please stick around for closing remarks, okay? So you can have a closing remark. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Remember, I revitalize people's lives in many different areas of health and mindset. You heard a little bit what I do for mindset. And I do first start off with your gut and mindset, and I help you with hormones, blood sugar, brain and heart, bone and joint, as well as immunity. And I help people that are anxious up to athletes, but sometimes it's a little bit further, and I might reach out to Dr. Shelly Jo. And pretty much I'm guiding you to that clean, toxic-free diet and high-quality essential nutrient products that reduce symptoms. You'll feel better. And possibly lose more weight, which for me, I was on maintenance at 50 pounds, and I reached an additional 20, making 70. And it's going to uplift your mood. That's exactly what happened to me when I went through my weight loss journey. And with my mindset coaching, I help you release those emotions, as well as stress and emotional entanglements. I'm there guiding you while you're reshaping your core beliefs. And we're going to go through that core belief process, just like she does. And your mindset's going to be more enhanced. With my health optimization, as well as my weight release, your body's going to be more efficient. And that's the mind-body solution that makes your heart and soul sing. Ask me about my programs. Set up a complimentary consultation at Debi Changes Lives. That's DebiChangesLives, as in victory, es.com/linktree, LINKTREE, or use that QR code. And you'll get to know me. I get to know you, and I'll guide you to your optimal health. And it begins with 1 or 2 assessments. Now, the health evaluations where you rate your symptoms in the last 30 days in 4 categories of health. Some questions are in multiple categories, answer them all. And you'll get a baseline score. Don't be scared of it, because I'm here to help you. I will review it with you, and I'll create a custom natural holistic strategy unique to you in the areas of mind, body, and soul. And we'll monitor that score so it becomes a better score for you. As well as I have 2 different body scans, and I prefer to do the ZeroLink because it is I can send it remotely and internationally. It's actually gone to Australia and South Africa. VisiraLink is a transdermal optical imaging app that I send a link to your smartphone. You scan your face for 30 seconds. It's going directly into your skin to look at blood flow for components of energetic, functional, emotional, and different body systems and lifestyles. The emotion component is a hidden gem because it's actually connected in emotion to a body organ, like anger connecting to liver. Now, this is not a diagnosis. It's a wellness report where it's going to show biomarkers at different levels and products and services that bring them back in. Our review with you is quite intensive. It costs $75. If you move forward with a program or product, I'll give you a $25 credit. Now, VisiraLink is that transdermal optical imaging app, also known as TOI. And you can look at its accuracy on PubMed.gov. And people are really amazed what their body tells them through the scan. And you'll be too. And if you need to ask me some questions, ask me questions at my consultation site or do the actual Visira scan and see what it's all about. On that site are my programs. I have Take Your Body Back, which you can go to the next slide, which is a 12-week weight release mindset coaching program where you're utilizing a new version of you to drive your success. All coaching is done on Zoom. The first one's always private to you because I'm a HIPAA health compliant practitioner. Any evaluation is private to you. I go over those valuations. I give you a choice between 3 different meal programs. And one of them is a natural approach to the GLP-1 with no injections that doesn't work anything like that model. So you're not going to get the side effects like that. And also, once you pick one of the programs, I give you directions. I also give you directions how to create a new version of you that's going to drive you emotionally and passionately to achieve your health and weight transformation goals throughout your journey. Now, whether it's private or group, the rest of the coaching is the same because we celebrate your wins. I show you how to use your boards. I give you tips on health and mindset. And I also obviously answer your questions throughout your journey. You will become a new you. You can ask me more questions on my consultation site because this program has changed over the years. If you're a do-it-yourselfer, why fast is for you? It's an intermittent fasting program that gets your cells and body humming and in turn boosts your metabolism with rich, dense nutrition and high-quality essential nutrients, and a program of exercise and recipes. Here you can ask me questions. If you feel like you need some coaching, you can do you can pay for a 2 or 4 week program to get you started. It's up to you if you want to pay for more coaching. For mindset enhancement and health optimization, you could use these smaller programs, but the larger programs are meant to save you money for a long term. But I can also maybe create a custom program for you that may save you some time and money. And you can go to the next slide. Something that worked really well with anything that I've mentioned in the show and Dr. Shelly mentioned in the show is NewCalm. It is a brain entrainment tool that is actually a FDA medical device. It used to put people to sleep. But what it does is it helps you release stress, get better sleep for surgeries, by the way, relaxation, mental clarity and focus, recovery and resilience. It is balancing that nervous system and overall health. It's helped special ops. It's helped, military, FBI, police, doctors and dentists have used it for the anesthesia part. And I'm offering you a 15% lifetime discount with a 30-day money-back guarantee. And you can go to bit.ly/new, capital N, lowercase u, capital C, lowercase l, a, and then L and M are lowercase. And then lifetime has a capital L only, and discount has a capital D only as one word. And you can check it out. Try it for 30 days and see what you like. It is an additive type of thing, but eventually you're going to sleep better. I mean, it broke me through that health crisis my son had. I was sleeping like 4 or 5 hours, and they helped me get back to 8 hours of sleep. So it's really beneficial and also releases tension in my neck. Now, that's about NewCalm. Now, I also have another slide coming up. Learn more about alternative health services, products, programs, offers, as well as articles, blogs, upcoming shows, promos, and events by subscribing to my newsletter at DebiChangesLives.com. Again, that's DebiChangesLives.com /radio TV show. All is one word as in lowercase, or use that QR code, and I'll give you a gift, a 30-day health and mindset daily action journal where you can record your gratitude, thoughts, feelings, and emotions, food, water, supplements, exercising on a daily basis. You can even track your measurements. Then you want to review it on a daily, weekly, monthly basis to see your wins and celebrate them. Find your gaps to work on. If you need help bridging that gap, you contact me for coaching. This journal is a great health and mindset awareness tool. I'm certain you found the show educational, eye-opening, and enjoyed it. Reach out to me for my services, programs, and offers. Reach out to Dr. Shelly Jo for her hypno amino supplements, her certified hypnotherapy school, and her services as a hypnotherapist. And don't forget her quiz. And do we have time for her to come back now?
Hi.
Hi. Well, we have quite a bit of time. I guess I went through that quite quickly. So, do you have anything else you want to say that you couldn't say because you kind of, technical difficulties?
Little detour, right?
Yeah.
I would like to say that there is hope, that life matters, that your life matters, that there are answers that I wish I'd have known when my daughter was 6.
Yes.
And I've seen miracles from people taking the amino acids. I love what you said, Debbie, about nutrition and vitamin and minerals. It's taking care of our body because this is the only body we have.
Mm-hmm.
And you can weather the storms of life. You can keep having lots of birthdays and still live in health and joy and happiness. So either come visit me or visit me. I'm in Utah. You can if you want to, if you're in Utah. But I do everything on Zoom, just like you said, Lee. And see what it's like. See how they can help you and how amino acids, nutrition, hypnotherapy. And if you're like, hey, I think I want to learn more. I'd like to create a career where I can help other people. Then sign up for the Certified Hypnotherapist School and learn about how to become an amino acid specialist at the same time, because life matters.
Life does matter, and it's important. Life is meant to enjoy, not to be torn apart by trauma, drama, or whatever. You're meant to enjoy it. And yes, we get into those conditions every once in a while, but it doesn't need to stick, right? So enjoy your life. Be healthier. Take supplements to fill the gaps the foods leave open, so to speak. Is what she was talking about, the minerals and things like that I offer. And it's going to really change your life. I mean, it's changed my life. I released my weight, and I'm a happier, healthier person now. So I'm really grateful that you're on my show today,
Thank
Dr.
you.
Shelly Jo, and I'll be working with you more in the future. And everyone can learn more from us. So please contact Dr. Shelly Jo for her services, and contact me for what I can do for you as well. She really has something that really can help make your life matter. So continue to enjoy my radio and TV show, Debbie Chases Lives, on Thursdays at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern, where your holistic journey begins.